I found a hidden door in my apartment, and it wasn't on the blueprint. Part 3. If you haven't watched Part 1 or 2, go watch it. It's on my channel. I don't think I can accurately describe it. I thought maybe I could push through, but the more I pried at the edges, the worse it got. My stomach couldn't handle it. Once I got myself together, I tried again, but when I gave the door a shove, the gap pushed out a breeze so vile I felt my entire body heating up. Yet I was frozen by the putrid odor that hit my nostrils. I could taste the bile in the back of my throat, but the door, it barely budged. That's when I realized, it wasn't just stuck. It was blocked. It was fucking blocked. From the inside. And recently, like today recently, I shined my flashlight through a crack. And that's when I saw it. There's a shiny new chain on the inside, keeping the door closed. And it's locked by a padlock. From the inside. Why would someone lock an interior door from the inside? What could they be trying to keep out? Or worse, keep in? And why can't I shake the feeling that this is somehow connected to Shane? The candy store. Or maybe even both. The way everything's lining up. It feels like there's a dark history tied to this place. It's as if all these strange occurrences are converging around me. What if this is a hidden story I wasn't meant to find? Plus, to make things even more odd, after I closed up the door, took a shower, drank my dinner and got comfortable. More like as comfortable as I could. I got a knock on my door. It was my ex-girlfriend Evelyn. She used to live here with me until about 2 months ago. We fought about a lot of stuff, and it ended pretty bad after a night of me drinking. I really just didn't want to have to deal with both of these dilemmas today. But you know, make a plan and God laughs. I opened the door. Evelyn's black hair was gathered in a messy bun. She was wearing my old Led Zeppelin t-shirt, one of those old worn ones that clung to her like a bittersweet reminder of the past. The shirt must have been a fuck you to me, I guess. And it was paired with black leggings. Which is pretty typical for her, I guess. Her black and white Converse hung on her feet screaming, "It's not a phase, Mom." Jesus. I never understood why she liked those things. No arch support at all. I like my Carolinas. She had foregone makeup, and in her natural state, she radiated a kind of beauty that couldn't be replicated anywhere. In that moment, standing in the doorway, she looked so beautiful that I nearly forgot we weren't together anymore. But the look she gave me was anything but warm. Her eyes were cold, and it was clear she wasn't in the mood for my shit. The conversation that followed was something of a blur. A bit of a testament to my self-deprecating nature and the haze of alcohol that had become my constant companion as of late. I remember bits and pieces because I've had a few drinks. Her exasperation with my attempts at humor. My own defensiveness. It was colored by my own lingering resentment. And her obvious frustration. It didn't go well is what I mean. Here's a rough attempt to replicate it, I guess. Me. Step right up. Musical notes, Evelyn. Please stop. Me. Come on in. Musical note, Evelyn. Jay, I'm here for my shit. I don't have time. Me. If you'd like to take the grand tour. Musical note, Evelyn. Dude, nobody listens to George Jones anymore. Stop being your dad. She walked into the living room with a brisk, purposeful stride, barely giving me a second glance. Her movements were quick and impatient. Almost like she was trying to put as much distance between us as possible without actually leaving. She crossed the room, her eyes scanning the cluttered space as if trying to absorb its details in one swift glance. Her pace was almost frantic, as if the act of moving around the room was a way to distract herself from the mounting tension between us. She turned sharply, her back briefly facing me, before pivoting on her heel as if she was starting another restless circuit of the room. The way she moved was a clear sign that she was not interested in lingering or making small talk. Me, my dad's cool, so fuck you. Anyway, hurry up. I got work in the morning and don't have time for this. I said over my shoulder, barely glancing back as I closed the door behind her. I made sure to press it firmly against the frame, trying to seal in what little cool air I had left from the air conditioner. Evelyn. Oh yeah, I forgot. You don't give a single fuck about anything but work, beer, and tugging on your man bits. Where's my box? Evelyn tossed her head back in exasperation, her hands gesturing impatiently as she scanned the cluttered room. She shifted from foot to foot, clearly irritated and eager to move on. Me, you don't remember getting mad at me because I couldn't find it? Evelyn, J. I leaned against the doorframe and laughed. Me, OH. That box. Down the hall in our room next to musical note your rings and all your things musical note. Evelyn, please shut up. I thought you didn't have time. She pushed past me with an impatient shove, her movement sharp and deliberate. Her frustration was evident as she brushed against my shoulder, not bothering to avoid me. She swept out of the living room with a brisk, almost angry energy, her footsteps echoing with each step as she moved swiftly toward the room we used to share. The air was thick with tension as she glanced back at me with a mixture of annoyance and disbelief. I started walking towards the kitchen, still facing her. Me, you never had a problem with me not having enough time when you were spending all my money on your Sephora bags and fucking Amazon carts. And let's not forget the pandemic. We barely had any food or ass paper in this place. But God forbid if your makeup drawer wasn't full. I shouted down the hall as she walked straight into our room. My room. Sorry. As Evelyn entered the bedroom, she finally noticed the smell. Her nose wrinkled in reaction to the pungent odor that seemed to permeate the apartment. She paused, looking around with a mix of confusion and disgust. It made her stop mid-step, and she quickly turned her head, trying to figure out where it was coming from. Her face showed clear discomfort as she stepped further into the room, her eyes darting around as if searching for the source of the stench. Evelyn. Jesus J, what's with all the fucking beer cans? And God, what's that damn smell? I had forgot. It was still here. Me, you smell it? My face went flush and I could feel myself tense up. Evelyn. Who wouldn't? Me, you remember all those days you'd be cold in the summer when you were cleaning the kitchen? Evelyn. Oh yeah. While you sat on your ass because you were so tired. Sure do. She picked up her Home Depot box full of her things and started walking toward me. Me. There's a hidden door under the sink in the kitchen. Evelyn. No shit? Me. No shit. Evelyn. What's it lead to? Me. Could be a service tunnel. That's what some folks are saying. Then again it could be something fucked up. But honestly, I'm just pissing in the wind at this point. Evelyn. Ugh God. What if it's Shane? Me. I don't know. It could be. But I kinda don't want to know too. Evelyn. That guy is fucking creepy as shit. He always stares whenever I see him. He used to freak me out whenever you'd be at work and he'd have to come by. I'd just go hide in our room. Dead ass. He undresses me with his eyes. Me. Can't blame him. Evelyn. Fuck you. She smiled at me. A brief flicker of warmth in her expression, but it quickly faded into a neutral, almost cold stare. Her eyes, once soft, were now fixed and unyielding. The smile vanished as if it had never been there, replaced by a look of serious contemplation. The room seemed to pause in that moment, the air heavy with unspoken words and unresolved tension. The silence that followed was almost oppressive, stretching between us like a tangible barrier, ringing in my ears. Then, breaking the quiet, she said, Part 4 is on screen.